Can you really see Prague if you only have one day to explore? We had traveled from the US to Poland, and while we were there, we wanted to see as much as possible, and we decided that we wanted to check out if we could get to Prague and see enough in one day. It was going to be a 5-hour train ride. Now, I know what you're thinking, that's a pretty long trip, 10 hours of train travel to see one city. So could that really be worth it? Well, for us, it absolutely was. So it was time to take an adventure during our adventure. And after walking across the Charles Bridge, checking out that old town, going to the old town square, taking a boat ride, checking out the big castle, seeing the cathedrals, oh my goodness, guys, 100% for us, it was worth it. Listen, there's a few things that we would do differently, and we do have a few tips for you if this is something you think you might want to give a try. Hey, if you are new here, welcome to Life After the Clock. We are Carl and Lori, and we teach active seniors how to get out there and not have a boring retirement, get off the couch, do some travel, have some fun, and not break into your savings, because that's important to us, and I feel like it might just be important to you as well. We put together a guide of the things that we do to help us not to ever pay for flights, to sometimes get cruises completely free, to get our hotel and lodging free. So we have that all for you. Just follow the link down in the description, and it is downloadable. It is completely free. You worked hard to get to these years. Get out there and do some things. And today we're trying to see Prague, Czech Republic in one really packed full day. Neither of us had been there before, and we decided, okay, let's do it. But instead of trying to navigate this whole big day ourselves, we decided we'd just take a tour. So I'm going to show you what we actually saw and a few things that'll make your trip easier if you decide to do the same. We took the train the night before. We decided we should really leave this big luggage in Kraków. So we put 2 nights worth of essentials in 2 backpacks. We left the big luggage at one of those storage units there in Kraków that was perfectly safe. We would highly recommend this because of the cobblestone streets and navigating in and off of a train with big luggage. And we discovered something that would have definitely made that 5-hour train trip easier and just better, and that was buying food before we got on that train. There is food available, but it was not spectacular. There are so many portable meals that you can buy right there in the train station to take with you. We wished we would have done that, especially when you see what your neighbor's eating. So after that 5-hour train ride, we arrived in Prague, went to our hotel, got a good night's sleep so that it would be fresh in the morning. Believe me, we were so thankful we did that because we were going to need all the energy we could muster for this day of sightseeing. If you're considering a full day tour like this, wear really comfortable shoes. Hours and hours of following our guide, walking over those cobblestone streets, standing and listening to her explain what we were seeing and telling us incredible stories, and then taking pictures and videos. Oh my gosh, guys, our feet needed to be comfortable or I don't think we could have made it through this trip. Because this trip was not some leisurely stroll. We were there to see as much as our senior legs could handle. So grab your comfortable shoes because we're about to explore one of the most iconic places in all of Prague. Because our tour started out at the Charles Bridge. It was such a spectacular way to begin this day. Charles Bridge is the oldest bridge in Prague. Construction began in 1357 and we walked across it. It's incredible to think that all those years ago they constructed this bridge and they preserved it and you're still able to use it. It was constructed by Charles IV. It is definitely one of the city's most photographed landmarks. And it's really easy to see why. Because you've got Prague on both sides of the river, the Vltava River flowing beneath you, and you have towers on each end of the bridge, and you have statues that line this bridge. One of the best known statues is St. John of Nepomuk. Our guide shares stories of the history of this bridge and of those statues, but honestly, there was so much to look at that sometimes you just have to stop and take it all in. This was just the first few minutes. This was just the beginning of this wonderful day of touring. From that point, we headed over to Old Town Prague. And this is really where I started understanding why people fall in love with this amazing city. There were all these little cobblestone streets, these little alleyways and courtyards and beautiful architecture everywhere you looked. Having a guide for us was so helpful because I know us. We would have spent the day saying, I wonder what this building is. I wonder what that is. Oh, Google it. And we would be staring at our phones, reading what Google said, rather than taking it all in. This guided day was completely worth it. I have so much footage of so many beautiful buildings. I can't stop and tell you what every single one of them are, because sometimes the best part of Prague is just walking around and looking up at everything that is in front of you. Then our guide took us on to the Jewish Quarter. It's a very historic area. She told us stories about the Holocaust, about different people's lives there, and as well as the history in that area. We stopped outside the old synagogue, and then we also saw the Maizul synagogue and also the beautiful Spanish synagogue. And then the little narrow streets opened up and we walked into the Old Town Square. This is one of those places where you feel like, oh my goodness, I'm in Prague, Czech Republic. It is overwhelming in size and absolutely beautiful to take in. The Church of Our Lady Before Teen just dominates the skyline. There's also the St. Nicholas Church and the Old Town Hall. And then there's that thing that it feels like everyone is waiting to see, and that is the astronomical clock. It is an incredible sight to see. But then you remember, I'm looking at something that is over 600 years old, and dadgummit, that's pretty stinking incredible. So at this point, we've already seen the Charles Bridge, the Old Town Square, the Jewish Quarter, the astronomical clock. Remember what I told you about wearing comfortable shoes? Yeah, our feet remembered too. And we were so ready for the next part of this tour, and that was a boat ride. And I'm going to be completely truthful right now. One of the reasons we love this boat ride so much is because we got to sit down, and we really needed to sit down. And getting on that boat felt pretty wonderful. It turned out this boat ride, it was so much more than just a break for our feet. We cruised along the Vltava River and then through the Chertovka, also known as Devil's Channel. And suddenly we were just seeing Prague from a whole nother perspective, looking up at it from the river. And it lasted about 45 minutes. It included a snack and a drink. And we really loved this part of our day because we were still sightseeing and we were still learning all about Prague. We were still having a huge adventure, but we could really relax for a few minutes and just enjoy the scenery. After the boat ride, our guide took us to a restaurant for lunch. We enjoyed that restaurant so much that I forgot to take any pictures or any videos. I'm really sorry about that. The food was great, but you're gonna love having that extra break off your feet before you head into the next part of the tour. And that's the Prague Castle. We had to walk up to the Prague Castle, and we spent quite a bit of time exploring the outside and the grounds. That's something that I would love to have gone inside of. And when we go back to Prague, and I really believe that we will go back someday, is that we want to go inside of some of these cathedrals and some of these historic buildings, as well as the castle. Because there's something about this castle that we didn't understand before we got there, and that is it's not just one building. It is a massive complex of cathedrals, of town hall, of the castle itself. It was so much to look at. We could have spent hours and hours right here exploring, because standing underneath it, looking all the way up, you just feel really small. This is not one of those places that you just walk up to it, take one castle picture, and hit the road. It's almost a destination within itself. Prague is just one of those places that there is something literally around every corner that you want to capture on camera. It's that kind of amazing. That morning, when there weren't very many people around, we were walking through the streets of Prague. We went to the Old Town. We crossed over Charles Bridge. We were blown away by the Old Town Square. We stopped and experienced that astronomical clock that everyone loves. We got to see the city from the water. And now we're looking back over all of it. So, can you really see Prague in one day? Obviously, you can't see everything. There were so many places that we didn't get to go inside. There were neighborhoods that we didn't get to explore. There were buildings that we wanted to check out completely. But is it worth traveling for 5 hours by train to see the city of Prague in just one day? And would we actually do this full tour again? Yes, for us, having that guide was worth it. We didn't spend half of our day looking at our phone trying to figure out where to go and what we were looking at. We could just follow the guide and listen to her stories, learning about Prague and being completely blown away by its beauty. So if you're thinking about doing something similar, here's what we learned. You only have one full day built into your schedule where you can come and see Prague, spend the night before, get a good night's sleep, wear your good shoes, store your luggage and bring backpack, and get food before you ever get on that train. Listen, sometimes when you're traveling, it's really easy to talk yourselves out of doing something extra, something that feels like it's going to take too long. And you think to yourself, maybe I'll do that someday. Listen, guys, years from now, you're not going to remember the 5 hours on the train. You're going to look back at your videos and pictures and be in awe and be so happy that you took the chance, because Prague is absolutely worth it. I hope this video has helped you to decide whether or not it would be worth it to you. I did go ahead and put a link for the tour down in the description below. And if you want our free guide for how we have made travel more affordable, you'll find that link in the description below as well. And if you're new here, like and subscribe to our channel. It helps us out a lot, because here on Life After the Clock, we're going to take a lot more adventures and we want to take you along. Thanks for checking out Prague with us today. Check out our next video and come along with us on that adventure as well.